Hey guys, I've got my monthly favorites for you, and I'm really excited to share this month's favorites. I have a lot of lippies. Let me just let me just mention that right off the bat. I usually talk about my lip stuff towards the end, so prepare yourselves. There's a lot of lip products. If you are new to my channel, what I like to do is put as many of the favorites on my face as possible, and I will cut away to that B-roll of me applying them so you can get a better sense of the products as I talk about them. But first, before we get into makeup, I have a couple of skincare products, and I do actually have a pair of shoes that I wanted to share with you. Okay, so let's start with these shoes. Now, I know they look like nothing, right? They're wool felt clogs, okay? Not the sexiest pair of shoes, I know, but hold on, I'm wearing them actually. I have these slippers from Jenny Kane. They just have this like suede bottom, super comfortable. I love them. They're warm, but they're not too warm. They don't make my feet sweat. But we're talking about these right now. So just a little backstory. I started to use my standing desk a little bit more again. And I don't know if you guys remember this, probably from like 4 or 5 years ago. I was kind of going through this like standing desk and sitting, this whole thing. Anyway, so my standing desk went to my husband for a long time, and then we built out his office, so he gave me the standing desk back. And I've been using it because I think I've pinpointed that I would say 90% of the reason why I have a lower back issue is from sitting, and from sitting too long without taking breaks, et cetera, et cetera. So I've been standing at my standing desk. Well, with all of that being said, these Jenny Kane shearling slippers with the suede bottoms, while they're super comfortable, there's like really not a lot of cushioning and not a lot of support. And I purchased these Jenny Kane wool felt clogs when she was having another 20% off sale. I had purchased all those sweaters or whatever, and I purchased these as well. Now, these are perfect, like absolutely perfect to wear around the house, especially if you use a standing desk or if you find yourself standing quite a bit, because there is the cork sole, which has a really, really nice amount of cushioning. It's like, if you're like familiar with Birkenstocks, these are a lot softer than that. There's a lot more cushion to them. I feel like the Birkenstock cork bottoms are hard, and it takes a while to kind of break them in and to like soften them up. These have like this really interesting, it's almost like an airy cushion right in the center of the sole, like right from here to here, and then the rest of this is just cork. And then they have like a gum sole bottom. So they're super comfortable. They have just enough kind of give without compromising in support. And so these have been great when I'm just standing at my standing desk, you know, all day editing for like 4 or 5 hours. These have been perfect. While my feet were like really hurting wearing these shearling slippers because again, they're just too thin on the bottom. And so these have been amazing. These also are great for dog walking, running quick errands to the UPS store. Like these have been so great. They're so comfortable. They run true to size. I have a size 39. I usually wear a size 39. So I just love these. And much like their shearling slippers, I was afraid that the wool felt was going to make my feet sweat and maybe kind of smell. I've tried like wool felt slippers before, and for some reason they don't work. They usually make my feet very, very sweaty and then stinky. These are wonderful. I don't know, maybe it's because they're a slide, so there's a lot more air circulation, but they're wonderful. They're super comfortable. They're warm, but not too hot, and I love them. So I had to mention these. Next, I have 2 skincare products. They're both serums, and one I've been using during the day, one I've been using at night. This is how I've kind of landed. I played with both of them a lot, using both, you know, day and night, but I like using this one for the day. So this one is the Clé de Peau Concentrated Brightening Serum. This is their, I believe, their newest serum, and so I've been using it for at least a couple weeks now, and it has a really lovely lightweight texture. It almost looks like a lotion. But I do use this after I put like a lotion on, either my Sisley Essential Skincare Lotion or my La Mer Treatment Lotion. I'll apply that and then I'll apply this. I like using this during the daytime, and when I talk about the other serum, I'll talk about that serum for nighttime and why I like using that for nighttime. But anyway, this one I just really, really enjoy. It has a light fragrance, a light like Clé de Peau fragrance, not the rose. There's like skincare fragrance, and it absorbs really, really quickly. Now, what I've noticed it does for my skin is that it really kind of minimizes my pores, and it really kind of like evens out my skin tone. So evening out in terms of when I wake up. I usually have pretty blotchy skin, either when I wake up or, right now I'm going through like really terrible like allergies. It's allergy season. If you suffer from like spring fever, it's allergy season. And I tend to get really agitated skin. I'll get little hives. It'll be blotchy. It'll be itchy, all of those things. And this has not only been brightening in terms of it evening my skin tone and kind of closing up like larger pores, but it also has been very, very soothing, which is a really nice kind of unexpected effect of the serum. So it's been really, really great. I don't feel like my face has looked especially puffy, which it can, again, during like allergy season. I just feel like so congested and, I don't have to explain allergy feeling to you, but I feel like this has really, really helped with that. So this is the serum I've been using during the day. And in the evenings, I've been using the Westman Atelier serum. This is the Skin Activator. It is a serum, and this packaging is so cool. So it's very reminiscent of like her foundation stick, but this is refillable. So that's pretty awesome. The only complaint, and I'll just get this out of the way, the only complaint that I have is, do you see how close this is to here? So when you squeeze this out, I just feel like I'm always getting the serum on the bottle because there isn't enough room here. Hold on, let me do that again. Yeah, I feel like I'm always kind of cleaning off this part because I just feel like they need to make more room here so that like when you press it, this doesn't come so close to the rest of the bottle. Anyway, moving on. So this is the serum I enjoy using in the evenings. Now this has more of like a silky gel texture versus the Clé de Peau, which has that kind of like lotiony texture. So this is very, very silky smooth. But what I find is that it is incredibly moisturizing. And I like that as part of my evening skincare routine. I feel like by the end of the day, after, washing my face and removing my makeup and all of that, I really like highly moisturizing products. And so this serum has been really great. I mean, it is so softening. It's so moisturizing. It really has done wonders for my skin. Every cream that I've used for my very dry skin has paired with this really, really well. So I've really been enjoying this, but I do enjoy this at night only because it is so moisturizing, and this has been great during the day. All right, let's get to the makeup. So I have a couple of base products to talk about. This first one is going to be no surprise. I've been talking about this all month, but this is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Face Sculpting Palette, and it has 12 cream products inside. I've been using these top 4 as like foundation, concealer. I've been using this one as contour, and I've been using this one predominantly. Occasionally I'll use this, but I've been using this one predominantly for highlight. But anyway, I love the formula. These have the best blendability. They just are so seamless. I have this like all around my eyes. I have it camouflaging some of my sunspots. I have it down here where I do have a little bit of like discoloration or whatever along my jawline. And I just play around with the colors. It's so much fun. I just play around with the colors. I usually lay this lighter one down first, like around my eyes, and then it's a little bit too white. It's a little bit too pale. So then I'll just add a little bit of this shade on top. I like using this one on my face. I like using this one around my nose. Like I've just been playing around with all of them. I feel like I can maintain like a light makeup look, but still get the coverage that I need because I'm kind of like pinpointing where I want it. Like today, I don't actually have any product on my forehead. I'm like, oh, my forehead looks pretty good. It's like the tannest part of my face. So I'll just work on like this half of my face. I don't have anything around my mouth. I just have stuff basically around my eyes, my cheeks, and my jawline, like I said. So even though this has like medium to high coverage, I don't feel like I have heavy makeup on because I don't have it all over my face. And that's what I love about this palette. You can kind of just apply it where you need it. And I do have the contour on today. I have that basically just underneath my cheekbones. That's it, just a little bit. I brought it up to my temples, kind of tried to blend it into my hairline. And that's it. It's wonderful. I love it. And you guys know I'm not like the biggest cream foundation person. I love cream blushes and bronzers and contours and highlights and things like that. But when it comes to base products, I always find them either the coverage is too high, or they're like either drying or they're really kind of greasy. This like none of those things. It has like the perfect amount of pigmentation. I don't find it greasy looking. I do think I have very dry skin. So I do think if you have oilier skin, you may just want to powder a little bit, but I don't think it gets, you know, like that kind of cream, like stick foundation. Sometimes it can just look really, really shiny. It never happens when I use this product. I just love it. It's just like perfect for me. So I've been continuing to use this all month. I really just love this product. Now, surprise, surprise, I have another cream-based product. This is the Basma Beauty Foundation Stick. I have it in the shade 035. Now, full disclosure, they sent this to me to test out to see if I wanted to do a sponsorship for them. So I got this, they sent me like 2 other shades. This is the one that works best for me. And I have to say, I was pretty biased because the story behind the creator of Basma Beauty is a burn victim, and she was burned at a very young age. It was just a kitchen accident, not just, it was a kitchen accident. And so she dealt with you know, covering up scarring and everything her entire life. So she came out with this product, and I was just really taken by her story and like the motivation to create something like this to help other people who have scarring, burn issues, anything, to kind of help them feel like confident and like the best in their skin. So I was really excited to try this product, and it really lives up to the story. It is so smooth. Here is shade number 35. So smooth, but I'm gonna see if I can blend it out, and I'm just gonna do it with my fingers. I want you guys to see how beautifully it blends out, just like that. Like, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So, you know, I've really been going hard with this palette because I love it so much, but ever since I started playing around with this product, I've been using this as well, and I'll just use it basically, again, because it blends out so beautifully, I can use it in targeted areas. I don't feel like I have to cover my entire face. So I've been using it, you know, under my eyes, on these like crazy sunspots that I have, and again, like on my jawline where I have discoloration. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So if you use me as a shade reference, 035, because there are a lot of shades. So that's why I'm like repeating myself. Okay, so those are the base products I wanted to mention. Cheek products. So what I have on my cheeks today is the Valentino Ida Cheek in shade, whoops, I always do that. There's that little brush that lives here, and every time I open up the compact, it falls out. Okay, this is shade number 8. It's a very beautiful, soft, peachy shade. Here is a swatch of it. Like all of the Ida Cheek products, there's a very subtle kind of satin sheen to it. And again, that's what I have on my cheeks. And I love the pigmentation. I love the formula of these Ida Cheeks. They really are this like very creamy powder. And they just blend out beautifully. And for a cheek product, I feel like they have the perfect amount of pigmentation, not too little, not too much. And it's the finish and how they blend out is really what I love the most about these products. Just so easy to use. And then you end up with that beautiful, like slightly satin sheen. Sorry, I have highlight on, so it's not that, but it's, the sheen is like more down here. Anyway, very subtle, more subtle than this. Very subtle. So wanted to mention this. I have been using shade number 4 a lot. I got some during the sale. This is actually one that I got during the Sephora VIB sale. And this is now like officially the peach shade that I reach for. It's just gorgeous. Like if you're looking for like a true peachy cheek, oh, I think you'll really like this. And then, oh, I forgot to mention a bronzer. So, okay. So I got the Pat McGrath bronzers. I actually ordered one, but she did send them to me in PR, which I'm very thankful for. And I really liked the shade number 2, which is a shade that isn't actually available on Sephora. I didn't realize that. So she has all of her shades available on her site, and then she has 5 out of the 6 available on Sephora. I don't know if that's still the case, but anyway, it was the last time I checked. And the shade that I like, which is shade number 2, isn't actually available on Sephora. The last time I checked, it's available on her site. Anyway, I really like that bronzer. However, I still really love this Hermes bronzer a lot, and it's what I have on today. I just have it dusted kind of all over, and this is the Hermes Plein Air Healthy Glow Mineral Powder. That's the full name. And this is shade number 01. I think this shade maybe works just a little bit better than the Pat McGrath ones. The powder on this is just a little bit finer. I feel like it blends out a little bit more seamlessly. The Pat McGrath bronzers, I mean, they work beautifully, and I really, really enjoy those. But I was thinking, I'm like, my favorites, if I'm talking about my monthly favorites, I'm still really loving this one. So this one made it to my favorites list, and not the Pat McGrath, but maybe next month. Maybe next month that'll make it. I'm still reaching for this one a lot more. Okay, back to blushes. Now, the Armani Luminous Silk Glow Blushes, I think I'm part of the majority here. I think everyone's been really loving these. So this is shade number 50. I wasn't sure about this one because it reminds me of NARS Orgasm. And if you guys have been watching me for any amount of time, you know that the NARS Orgasm is just not one of my favorite blushes, even though it is so, so popular. Everyone loves it. But yeah, for some reason, it just, it makes whenever I apply it, it makes the rest of my skin look very sallow. I don't know. It's almost like it's too peach, but like the undertone is wrong. Anyway, I can't put my finger on it, but it just doesn't look right on me. This looks like the NARS Orgasm, but there's just a little bit more pink to it, I think. Here is a swatch. I don't have it on my cheeks because I decided to go for the Valentino, but it's really gorgeous. And when I was trying my Sephora haul, I did try this on if you are curious. It's just a pressed powder, so nothing fancy. It's not baked. There's no like super special formula going on here, but it really is very easy to work with. It blends out beautifully, which of course is what we want for a blush. And the golden sheen on this is so gorgeous. Like, you don't need a highlight if you use this particular blush. It is incredible. And I have two other shades, 51 and 30, and I'm thinking about getting more because this formula really is quite stunning. I love it. I love it. It just dusted on beautifully on my cheeks. So this has become a favorite. And what I have been loving are these new Esom Artistry palettes. So here is the blush palette. So this is number 9, right? Yeah, number 9 Accentuate blush palette. So it has these covers that slide off and you can take them off completely. They are also refillable. So this back cover also comes off. You can just pull the whole palette out and then you can replace each product. So here is the number 9 palette. Now I've been using basically these two shades, occasionally these two shades if I want like a punchier blush. But these two shades are just pink and peachy. So let me just swatch those two. So here's the pink and the peach. So there's like a little bit of a theme here, right? But these are a little bit brighter. They also are a matte blush, but they don't look dry. You guys know I'm not generally like a matte blush fan, but there's something so silky smooth about these matte powders that when I apply them, they don't look dusty, they don't look dry, they don't look like a very sad matte. I feel like matte makeup can sometimes look very, very sad. It just looks like just devoid of anything. But these actually give off a little bit of a silky feel to them because they are so silky, but without any kind of shine, if that makes any sense. Like, they just look really smooth. The powders are so soft and smooth. When you run your fingers over the pans, it almost feels like nothing. That's how smooth they are. So I've been loving this palette, which brings me to the Esom number 1 Artistry palette. This is the Balance eyeshadow palette. They also sent me number 2, which is an eyeshadow palette with like metallics and satins. I just haven't gotten a chance to use those because I started with this and I love it. I love like creating just a really simple, kind of like contoured eye look. So basically what I've been using are these 6 shades just to create like a really simple eye look. So I combined these 2 shades here to kind of deepen up my outer corner, kind of bring it into my socket line here. And then I just used this shade today, just kind of all over my lid, just to keep this area a little bit brighter. And I love it. I love like just a really simple, simplified eye look that is just the mood that I've been in. You know, of course, every once in a while it's like, ooh, let's do like a fun eye look. But generally for every day and like what I'm going for, especially in the warmer months, I feel like I amp up my lip more than I do my eyes. This has been absolutely perfect. And like, when was the last time I did like an all matte eye look. That's how much I love these shadows. I always feel like when I start with a matte to kind of do a little bit of the shading and the contouring, I feel like, oh, let me spice it up a little bit with some satins or some metallics. But I don't feel that way when I use these shadows because they're just so smooth and they're so elegant. They're so elegant in their application. They just go on beautifully and they just blend, blend, blend. Like there's some eyeshadows where if you're like, well, let me just keep blending this out, it looks a little patchy, and then all of a sudden you have nothing, like no product is left. These, it doesn't happen with these. Like you could just keep blending and they just kind of keep blending out. Like really, really high quality, incredible, incredible eyeshadows. I highly, highly recommend these. So not to avoid stating the obvious, but these are very, very similar looking to the Viseart shadows. And, you know, I think when I first talked about these, a lot of people asked me, well, how are these compared to the Viseart? Wow, that really looks like Viseart. These shadows, I would say, are finer and silkier than the Viseart shadows. I still really love the Viseart shadows. I think they work beautifully, but they're drier. They're definitely like a drier formula, especially when it comes to the mattes. So if you found the Viseart shadows maybe a little bit too dry, you may enjoy these. So anyway, these are the Isom Artistry palettes. This is number 1, Balance. All right, well, nothing new for like mascara and brows. I'm still using the Persona Swipe Up Brow Gel in charcoal for my brows. I'm still using the Wayne Goss waterproof mascara for my lashes. I did get the Lancome Lashy Doll waterproof mascara during my Sephora haul, which I really enjoyed, but you know, I like using my mascaras until they're done and then I'll move on to the next one. So I'm still going hard with the Wayne Goss. It's still incredible. My lashes are still upright. Incredible. So let's move on to lippies because, like I said, I have a lot. Okay, I'm gonna start with the 2 that aren't new, but I actually had to run to my purse and grab them because that's how much I've been using them. These are just like my everyday throw on if my lips feel dry, if I feel like I need a little something on my lips. The Lisa Eldridge Sorcery Gloss Embrace Lip Gloss. I think I mentioned this in my last month's favorites, so we'll just move on. And then the Victoria Posh Gloss in, I think this is Tan Line. Yeah, in Tan Line. So this is a little bit paler than the Sorcery. Let me swatch these for you. So Tan Line is on top and Sorcery is on the bottom. So Tan Line's a little nuder, it's a little bit lighter, and Sorcery has a little bit more like pink to it and is a little bit deeper. They're both great. They're both wonderful. I love the shades. I love the formula. If I had to pick a formula, I like the Lisa Eldridge formula just a little bit more. I find it a little bit more nourishing, where the Victoria Beckham gloss it's just a really lovely gloss. I don't feel like it dries out my lips or does anything weird, but I do feel like the Lisa Eldridge is just a little bit more nourishing. And then you guys saw me try this on when I did my Sephora haul, but this Tom Ford Liquid Luxe Matte lipstick, am I getting all the words in there? Liquid Lip Luxe Matte in the shade 129 Carnal Red. I love this. I love the formula. You guys have heard me talk about this formula. I started with shade, I believe it's 120, Naked Desire. I started with that one. I was just intrigued that Tom Ford had come out with like a new lip product. I am not typically a matte lipstick wearer, so, you know, I was like, let me just get one to try. I love the formula. It feels like nothing. You apply it, and then it literally feels like you have nothing on your lips again. It's like magic. So anyway, I went and I purchased Carnal Red during the sale, and this is such a beautiful summertime red because there's just a hint of orange in there, just a hint of warmth in there. And you guys know, I love my reddish orange shades. This with like bronzy skin, oh, I just love it. Okay, so that is the Tom Ford Liquid Luxe Matte Lip, God. So that's the Liquid Lip Luxe Matte in Carnal Red. Oh, and they don't transfer. Sorry, I feel like I've been talking about this product a lot, so I'm just speeding through, but it's a product, once it sets down, it doesn't transfer. It does take a while to set down, I will say. I would say after like a solid 5 minutes, then it's completely like set down and it won't transfer. It's pretty wonderful. Okay, now for the lip that I have on, this is the Clé de Peau Cream Rouge Shine in Plumeria Apricot. It is number 202. I love this. I love this. So as you guys know, I was lucky and honored enough to appear at a Clé de Peau sales conference here in Las Vegas. And Benjamin Pkwy, who is their color director and like the most incredible makeup artist and just the sweetest person in the entire world, he, was kind of talking about like lip colors, and he's like, oh, you should wear more pinks. And I was telling him, I'm like, oh, I usually go for like nudes and reddish oranges, and that's about it. And he put like a really beautiful pink lip color on me. And ever since then, I've been playing around with more, pinks and more oranges, because this isn't really like the reddish orange that I go for. This is like an orangey peach color. And so this is a little bit, out of my comfort zone, but that's the Plumeria Apricot. The shade that he used on me at the show is another Cream Rouge Shine in number 206. Now, you guys know, I don't usually go for colors like this, but we were talking about application and, different trends and stuff. And so what I've been doing and what he kind of suggested, because I was like, oh, I don't know, I don't, usually wear those colors. He's like, just put it on in a sheer way. And this formula, sorry, I'm just kind of blending it out. This formula like blows out beautifully, almost like an eyeshadow. It just like, you can apply like a blurred lip line look with these so easily. So you can do it with your finger like this, or I've been using a brush, like I've just been using here, a flat kind of shader brush. And so I'll apply it normally, and then what I'll do is just along the lines, I'll just kind of blur it out, soften it a little bit. It's basically like a less dramatic version of that popsicle lip look that was going around, but I really like applying these shades in a really kind of soft way. Like talking to him and playing around with these shades, it's really changed my like lipstick game. The other shade that I've been loving is actually part of their matte line. And I was just kind of talking about how I don't usually go for mattes, but their mattes are really comfortable. Now, these aren't transfer proof like the Tom Ford ones. These are more of like a creamy lipstick with a matte finish, but they're not like a liquid lipstick. But this, look at this shade. This like really cool toned red in this matte. So this one is shade 115 Cordyline. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that shade. So I've been wearing that quite a bit. And then after realizing how comfortable their matte shades are, I started playing around with shade number 111, which is this really cool tone nude. But this is like such a typical me color. But I had been shying away from it because it is a matte finish, but it looks great on the lips. Really great. So here is that nude shade. Pretty. So it's just a little bit warmer than this Cordyline. The Cordyline really is a very cool toned red. But isn't this pretty? So anyway, I've fallen in love with so many of these Clé de Peau shades. And again, this one is Plumeria Apricot, which I've been reaching for a lot. I think you guys saw me wear this in my spring fashion haul video. I've been wearing this one a lot. So. Well, those are all of my lippies, and those are all of my favorites for this past month. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know what some of your favorites have been down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.